Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Des and today I'm going to do a little Techo Kaigi for you. I'm going to show you all of the notebooks and planners that I've been using this year. This right here is a little bit of a lie. I also have all of these to show you. This just looked cuter as like a little stack. I went to a concert last night and my voice is a little bit shot today, so I'm sorry if I'm a little bit raspy. I've been meaning to do this video for a few months, actually. I don't know if I'm going to title the video Mid-Year Techo Kaigi like I did last year, because this is more of like towards the end of the year. I guess it's September, it's not really the end of the year. We still have a few months, but it's definitely planner season. That's already all in full swing, so I know a lot of people are ordering their planners for 2025 right now. If you didn't watch my last video, which was my hobonichi wish list for 2025, I talked a little bit about how I am waiting a few months to order my 2025 planners because I'm still doing some experimenting. That's also kind of why I kept pushing this video off, because I kept changing how I was using my books. But I've been doing this system, most things, for a month or more now, and so I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on it. And the fun of these videos is to see how people change things, right? So I'll tell you a little bit about each book and how I was using it, how I've changed things. Yeah, so this might be a long one. I'll try to keep it short. My one from last year was like 29 minutes, and I have no idea how I did that. Oh well, let's get into it. So this is kind of my main book. I have really been experimenting in this, and in the last few months, this has become like a very comforting book for me. And it feels so good. Like, this book brings me so much joy, especially since I put it in this cover. It really just feels like home now, and I absolutely love it. So let's look inside. So this is the hobonichi hone in the A5 size. The inside is a hobonichi cousin, but it just has like a hardcover. And I know some people are wondering like if these hones fit into the covers. I've found that this one fits in here fine if I only put the back cover in. And I don't really want to put the front cover in anyways because I like to look at this cover. It's so pretty. But for most of the year, I had this in the clear hone cover, and it was totally fine. But I had bought this cover and I wasn't using it, and I was like, well, maybe I will try and move my hone into it. And it fit well enough for me. And it's really fun for me too, because I kind of got to decorate this cover over here and put like little bits and bobs in here. And it does close. You can't get a single pen through these two loops to do the closure because it's a bit too chunky, especially now that my book is getting a little bit fluffy. You can see the months where I wasn't using it very consistently versus like the last few months that I have been using it more consistently, and then the rest of the year over here. I don't mind that it's fluffy and chunky. I love the feel of this. I love to hold it in my hands, and this is, I think, the most attached to a planner or journal I've ever been. So I'm not mad about it. This postcard I got at the Met, and I also have in the back, this clear cover has a pocket. I have one of these folders with a few sticker sheets back here. Honestly, I forget that this folder is back here because out of sight, out of mind. So maybe I'll put it here. I forget that it's there. And then I have another folder here in the front with some more smaller stickers. And then I put like my little bits of PET tape that I haven't cut yet here. Kita tapes, washi tape samples, sticky notes, business cards. This is a little washi tape sample that fits right here. And yeah, and I keep two pens here. This is the freebie pen from 2024. I have cracked mine, which is a little bit sad. I absolutely love this pen, and I got a lot of them because I ordered a lot of books from Hobonichi last year, and I gave them all away. So this is my only one. So that's a little bit sad, but I love it so much. And then I keep whatever fountain pen I'm currently using in this loop on this side. This is a Kaweco Student in the 20s jazz color. It's really beautiful. I love this pen so much. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess, a tour of the cover, maybe not necessary. I also keep my PET tapes in the back here, and then a little sticker release paper here. But yeah, so in the front, this sticky note is like my commonplace reference. So these dots correspond to my different commonplacing topics, and I do a little bit of commonplacing in here. So that's what that's about. This page I don't really use. I backfill it a little bit once in a while to make a note of certain things that I might want to look back on, and I just haven't gone through and backfilled this, so I'll have to do that eventually. My monthlies I didn't really use. I experimented with trying to do mood tracking. That never really worked for me, and then I tried an experiment with like a line a day or like a memory thing, and that didn't last very long. And then I tried it again in August, and it stuck. So this was after I got back from Stationery Fest in August, and I just write a little spiel about my day in a couple of sentences, kind of whatever fits in the box. And I really like this. This is this month's. I actually decorated it really cute this month. These stickers and this washi tape are Maryberry Studio. I do have a discount code for Maryberry Studio, so it will be in the description for you. I really like this line a day thing. I do have some changes for how I'm using this book for next year, but I will talk about that later because I really like this. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then the weeklies. So originally my plan for the weeklies was to do memory keeping, and I did a couple of spreads, but they were honestly so hard. Like, this was so hard to do. It looks beautiful. I love the couple of spreads that I did do, but oh my gosh, this was so time consuming. And it's so hard for me to write in here too, because the columns are so slim that I was like, it's like I could fit like 1 or 2 words on a line, and it was kind of, yeah, it was not really working. Though I love the way these look, yeah, it didn't work. So I think that's basically all I did for those. And then I recently, in like the last month or two, started experimenting with this weekly as actually planning, which I didn't originally do in here because I had a separate planner, and I will talk to you about that when I get to that book. But I started experimenting with planning in here, and it's actually working really well. I used my other planner to backfill some spreads in here to kind of test how I could use it. And then I think this week of Stationery Fest is when I fully switched into here for planning and kind of started to figure out my layout. So this is kind of the layout I do now. At the top, I'll list if there's like an event for the day, and then under that I put my task list for the day. And then on the rest of the spread here, I will write if I have events at certain times. And then at the bottom, I like to write what meal we ate for dinner. And so on the left, I have tasks, content tasks, and meals for the week. And that's how I'm using this right now. And so as I started to get used to it, I started to decorate a little bit more. And then this week happened. This is my pride and joy. I love this week. I love this week so much. I put this washi tape here. This was totally inspired by Bronte. It just, like, I love the way that it breaks up this spread, and I put my meals down here. So I love this week. And then this is the current week. It's currently Friday. And yeah, I kind of just went with the same idea. I do need to be careful if I'm going to continue to do this washi tape thing, maybe by shifting it up and down, because the book will start to bulk right here if I'm constantly doing tape and stickers and stuff right here. But it's fine for now. So yeah, kind of the same idea. So I'm going to continue the rest of the year doing it that way. Didn't do anything with this spread. Strong start, January 1st. Man, I had a rough start in January, I guess. I didn't really, okay, 18th is when I started writing in here. This is kind of how I use the book still. It's not like a memory keeping book for me. This is I just want to write about random stuff during my day and make little commonplace notes, write quotes, just little journaly bits, put in ephemera. That's mostly like write about video games. That's still pretty much how I'm using this. I think this is where I started to pick up this book more regularly. I decided that I wanted to start using it like daily, like keep this on my desk and check into it multiple times a day. So that was in June. And I was on a whole kick of using up my old sticker sheets from like Sticky Club. So there's gonna be a lot of these in here. Yeah, here's another sticker sheet, empty, hashtag user stickers club. So this is when I started using this book a little more regularly. I got this idea from, is it Natasha? I can't remember, on Instagram to do like a monthly wrap up. This is really cute. I should do this again. This Dum Dums wrapper from the 4th of July. We went to like a parade with my family and I ate this Dum Dum at lunch. And it's funny how you can just stick like something so simple in your planner or your journal and remember exactly like the whole day. So that's wild to me. This brings back so many memories. More stickers. Oh, I restarted my Sticky Club subscription. I was not planning to give you a full flip through, so I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. So the monthly spread I don't really use that much. I'm now using it to track like my Instagram and YouTube growth a little bit, and then I stuck a bunch of fruit stickers in here. And then, oh, I love this spread. This is all of like the washi tapes that I got at Stationery Fest in New York. So I don't like to have this book reserved for like memory keeping. I don't want to feel restricted, like I can only come in at the end of the day and write exactly what happened during the day. I want to be able to pick this up throughout the day and write little bits just about whatever I'm thinking about. Yeah, so I stole this from Bronte, like this sideways journaling in here. I really like it. It like adds some interest to the page. It's very fun. So yeah, sometimes I like do little journaling bits in here. Sometimes I just slap a sticky note in. Yeah, and I like that I can just write about whatever I feel like in here and be creative. Sometimes I write about books that I've read. And then September, I also stole this from Bronte, keeping track of hobby purchases. I think since it's planner season, this is really important for me to stay accountable because I am going to spend a bunch of money on planners. So I'm trying not to spend money. So doing good so far. Yeah, so that's kind of just how I'm using this right now. I like to just write about random stuff, like I got a Squishmallow. So that's how I'm using the daily pages. I have one of the notes pages in the back, come on, that I'm using for an ink log. Anytime I fill up a fountain pen, I write it down in here. And then the 365-day checkoff sheet, I started using recently. I want to start scribbling in when I write in my journal, like my long form journal, and I'll like scribble it in with whatever color fountain pen that I used to write in the journal. The ones that are done in pen are backfilled, so I didn't have the pen inked with the correct color, but those are days that I journaled, and I want to get more consistent with this, so that's why I'm tracking it. And then I just scribble in the back. This is my like most used journal and planner, and I used to be afraid of having planning and journaling in the same book, but since this isn't my memory keeper, I really don't care if I'm planning in it. Like, this is not a book that I'm going to be showing people. I don't think my kids are going to be looking at this or anything in the future. This one's for me. This one is purely for me. So yeah, that's the deal with my hone. Next, I want to show you my hobonichi weeks. last year and most of this year, I used this in the exact same way, which was for planning. But I have since changed it up since I moved planning to my home. I tried to use this for content planning at the beginning of the year and it didn't really stick. I decorated a couple of the months and never filled them out. These are also Mary Berry stickers. To give it away, I guess, I'm now experimenting with this as my reading journal. I recently shared a video a couple of months ago about my reading notes notebook, and I'm kind of adapting that to be in here because I really love the hobonichi weeks. So I'm experimenting in the monthly pages right now. That's why this kind of looks a little bit like trash. But basically the books I'm reading are listed on the left-hand side here. I have a spot for books that I have purchased or acquired, and then books that I've checked out from the library. And then I have a colored stripe showing when I read each book, and then when I finished and started books. And then over here I've listed where I was at in certain books at the end of the month that are carrying into the next month. And so this is September's one so far. I haven't filled it out since here, but I kind of hate the color coding. So I might switch it up again. So yeah, this is still experimental right now. So I will show you my planning. This is how I used to use this book. This is how I used a Hobonichi Weeks last year too, was for planning. So I would make a column down the page here. On the left-hand side, I would put events that were happening. On the right-hand side, I would write tasks and then check it off in this center column. And then on the right, I could kind of change this up as I needed, but I always had a task list at the bottom. I often had habits, meals, socials, and commonplacing, and I would write that out every week. So it would look like this. And yeah, there were some weeks that I didn't use it, but it wasn't a huge deal. I would pick it back up and just keep it simple and not decorate it or anything. So after a little while of not using it, I would try to just simplify it. But yeah, I've been doing this for a while, so it feels very strange to stop. And the weeks has definitely become a comfort book for me, which is why I'm trying to keep it in my lineup for next year. But that being said, I'm not going to force it. If this doesn't work as a reading journal, I'm not going to get a weeks next year. And that makes me really sad, but it's okay. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with this. I stopped planning in it. Yeah, I told you in the other book, I backfilled some weeks, and then I switched over to using it as similar, honestly, to Bronte yet again, mostly a reading journal with a little bit of media journaling. So at the top here, I write down which books I'm currently reading, and then on the left-hand side, I can write notes as I'm reading about things that I'm thinking. And then on the right, I kind of reserve this for, honestly, whatever I feel like. So I wrote some quotes here from a book. We watched Twisters, the movie, so I wrote a little spiel about that, and I drew this line here to show which day we watched it on. And so all of these spreads look different because I'm experimenting a lot with it right now. So in this previous week, I was writing the full book title and the percentage, and that was taking up a lot of room, so I was trying to figure out how I could pare it down a little bit. So I started abbreviating the title of the book, and then making those two lines into one line and still writing the percentage. Yeah, these days I even experimented with just highlighting this left-hand side with the corresponding color, but I didn't like that very much. This week I was starting to just mix it up. So I was, sometimes writing the full title, sometimes writing it abbreviated, writing TV shows that we were watching in here. I wrote that we went to Barnes & Noble, and I wrote the books that I got. And this was more fun for me. And then on the right-hand side, I finished these two books. So I wrote a little bit about my thoughts here. I would like to have some like icon stickers to like denote that this was a book, because it does look very similar to like the movie. And, you know, like on this one I drew like a little music note thing. But yeah, I'm just experimenting. This is this week's. As you can see, I have done no color this week, like no color coding. So that's something I'm experimenting with this week. So I've written the books at the top here still, and then like I wrote, like, I started listening to Tom Lake, we finished watching America's Sweethearts, and then I wrote a note about Spy X Family, like we watched the new episode of Only Murders in the Building, finished Spy X Family, we watched an episode about Bachelorette, and then I started reading another book. So this one's a little bit more messy, but yeah, experimenting. I can't decide how I feel about it yet, because like looking at this, it's not immediately clear like which thing I'm talking about. I like actually have to read through everything. So I kind of have to decide if that's okay for me, because I think what I'm going to do in the back notes pages is like condense the notes I've taken about a book and like write a little review for it. So I'll like maybe reserve a page or a spread for a book after I read it, and then like write down my notes and thoughts, so that maybe I don't necessarily have to refer back to these pages to know about like what I thought about a book. So that's where I'm at right now, experimenting. And then for the notes pages, again, I have an ink log, similar idea to the other book. And for a lot of the year, I've been using this to do content planning, and it was like fine. It wasn't like helping a ton. I would write down some of like the posts that I wanted to make, kind of like thinking about YouTube videos and stuff. I would take notes on the videos I was editing, but I kind of stopped using it. So yeah, this is where I was turning this into a reading journal. I have a list of the arcs that I've gotten, like the ones I need to read still. And then I've made a list of like some releases that I'm excited about. Oh, I wrote down books that I want to unhaul. I think almost all of these are listed on my Pango books. So I have like a little code. So R is removed from my shelf, L is listed on Pango, S is sold, and D is like donated or given away. So I've sold one Pango book. So yeah, if you're interested in buying secondhand books, definitely check out my Pango. Maybe I will start linking it. I believe it's just Dez's Diary on there. And yeah, in the back for the My 100, I'm writing down the books that I've read. I realized I was not gonna go over 50 this year, so I just started swatching Mildliners and Tombos on the side, and then I'm not using the 365-day checkoff sheet for anything. I could use it to like mark days that I've read, but I read pretty much every day unless I get home too late or I'm like super busy. I read every day, so I'm like not super worried about tracking it. But yeah, maybe I could like mark when I finish books or something. I don't know. So yeah, this is fully experimental. I keep these in the back to like write down like notes like, oh, we watched this show tonight, and then I'll stick it like on the day so that I can go back and write about it later. Yeah, so I'm experimenting with this. Like I said, I may or may not be getting a weeks for next year. We will see how this goes. Yeah. I'm kind of going out of order from what I originally planned, but I think this makes the most sense. I ordered this little notebook just on Amazon. It was like $7 or something. And it's an August of the 2024 to December of 2025 notebook. And I thought from like the reviews and stuff that there was a notes page, there was like a full spread of notes pages in between every month, and that is not the case. I don't think I'm gonna use this next year, but I'm gonna use it for the rest of this year. And what I'm using this for is content planning. I want to be like more serious about my YouTube specifically. So what I'm doing, I've close this page. So this is August. This is my experimenting page here. So I kind of figured it out towards the end of the month. I'm writing like which post I'm doing on Instagram, because I like to post 3 times on Instagram a week. And then I was writing like when I put something on YouTube. I was noting when I was editing and when I was filming. And yeah, I had like a little bit of a to-do list here. And then I made this notes page for video ideas. And then I'm like film, edit, post is what that means. So like I'm filming my mid-year Techo Kaigi right now, so I'll cross that off after. And then this is September spread. I'm trying to keep it a little cleaner, a little easier to read. But I'm like writing when I edit and post videos. And like today here, I'm filming my Techo Kaigi. I've also noted here that I have a review for an arc due that day. But yeah, I've like pre-noted to like post Instagram pictures on here. And this is kind of like helping me be a little more serious about YouTube specifically, because I like from doing it in August, I could see like the days that I had time to edit and the days that I had time to film. And so I kind of have like an idea for a loose schedule that might be able to get me to posting every week. I at least want to post twice a month. Like historically, I've only been able to post once a month. And yeah, I would like to do better. I would like to post more because this is really fun and I like making YouTube videos. So I like talking to you guys. So yeah, I'm like trying to build a little bit of a schedule on here. Yeah, so that's like the idea of this. So yeah, okay, I'm just gonna leave it there for this one because I will tell you what I'm planning to do for next year in a minute. Because I'm kind of just telling you how I'm using things right now. And then at the end, I will tell you how I'm changing things. Okay, I'm gonna switch gears now to my memory keeping system. So like I said, I don't use my A5 for memory keeping. I like that to just be my day-to-day book. So a few months ago, I got this Moleskine Pocket Daily on like a super great deal. So I thought I would try it out. The months are too small to do anything with. Like that, yeah, they're ridiculously small. And also I don't like Moleskine paper. I'm just gonna say it up front. This paper is not great. But I do like how chunky this little book is. It's very cute. So yeah, I got this book it looks like in June. And I was experimenting with using this as a memory keeper in the way of like a daily log. So I would write like bullet list about things that I did that day, and that's it. It's not like a journal. It just is saying like I did these specific things. That's why I kind of am calling it a pocket. I'm calling it a pocket daily log. And it's just kind of helping me remember what I did every day. So like I'll write if we watched a movie or a TV show or like if I finished a book. But yeah, it's kind of more mundane, like, oh, we went out to eat here, or like I spent my day doing this. And this feels to me more like something that I would share with my family in the future, if that makes sense. The sticky notes are just days that I need to backfill. Yeah. So this is August. I have some catching up to do right now. I'm keeping the line a day notes in my cousin. This is really easy to backfill. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea with this. It's working pretty well. I only use pen in here. Like this Jetstream, Uni Jetstream. That's all I use in here. And then I decorate it with lots of stickers. This is how I'm making it through my sticker sheets from Sticky Club and how I justified restarting my Sticky Club subscription. So yeah, this is really fun for me. The second part to my memory keeping system is the Hobonichi 5-year journal. I got the 2023 to 2027, so I got this last year, and I was decent about using it at the beginning of the year and then fell off of it pretty quickly. And then since I missed so many days in here, I really avoided it this year. As you can see, 2024 is completely blank through all of this. And like once in a while, there's a 2023 day filled in. So that made me a little bit sad, but I finally just got over it and picked it up a few weeks ago and started like just backfilling, and I would just do like maybe like 4 or 5 days at a time. I would sit down and do a little backfilling from this journal and from my line a day. It makes it really easy. So yeah, in here I'm writing, my little system is to write the day of the week, the high and the low temperature, and then kind of just very plainly what I did that day. And if I need to, I will journal onto this side of the page. What I like to do in this journal is use one ink color for the year. So if like I need more room to journal, or if I write something on this right hand side, it will always match like the color for the year on the left hand side. So for 2024, I've decided that this purple is my color for the year. This is a Diamine Memory Lane. It's an ink vent one, and it's a shimmer ink, which I didn't necessarily want to use a shimmer ink in here, but I also like kept putting it off. So I decided to just start, and that's what I had inked in my pen. So that's what I'm using. I do have a little bit of backfilling to do right now. Since we're into September now, I probably have like a week or so, maybe 2 weeks to backfill in here, but yeah, I like this. I really want to keep up with it, and I really want to use it for the next few years. And then on the yearly page here, I think I will note down significant days. But yeah, I've written the ink. So last year I used Ferris Wheel Press Royal Rhubarb to journal in here, and then yeah, Diamine Memory Lane. So this is pretty simple, and I haven't been the best at using it, but I want to get back into it. So yeah. Okay, and the next one is this Day Free, Hobonichi Day Free A5. So I originally bought this as a commonplace book, and I was doing reading journaling on the monthly spreads. And I might switch back in my weeks to doing it this way, where I write down like started this book, finished this book on the days instead of drawing the lines. But a similar idea. This was my to be read list. These are the books that I bought, the books I got from the library, and the books that I was reading. I only did that for like a month in here before I gave up on it. And like I said, was using this as a commonplace book. I always get phone calls in the middle of filming. So yeah, I was trying to use this as a commonplace book, and that lasted 5 seconds, and I didn't really like it. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Then I changed it to a long form journal, basically. So I was experimenting with using the monthly page as like a gratitude journal, like writing something that I'm thankful for, and that's fine. I don't think I'm going to continue it next year though. And now I'm just writing like long form journaling in here. It doesn't necessarily need to be like an everyday practice for me, but yeah, that's all that this is about. I don't think there's anything else in here. Yeah, I have an ink log in here as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm using this for right now. I didn't want it to go to waste since I hadn't been using it for the commonplace purpose that I bought it for. So yeah, I'm just journaling in it right now. Last but not least, my pocket notebooks. So if you've seen some of my other videos or you follow me on Instagram, you might recognize these. These are my commonplace books. I have learned that pocket-sized and like A6 size notebooks are the best for me for commonplacing. So this field notes is one that I started in January and finished in June. Yeah, I love this little field notes journal. It's very cute. So I like to start off by like making my key and then adding a little quote in here. And then yeah, I use it like a commonplace book. I have a video called like Pocket Notebook Obsession that I talked through these more if you would like to watch that. I'm not going to flip through every page in here, but just like to give you an idea. I write about all sorts of stuff in here, just like things that I'm learning, things I don't want to forget, notes, stuff like that. So yeah, I filled this little book and then I started this chonky book. I was like really feeling the love for the chunky notebooks, but honestly has made this like harder to take around with me because it is chunky, but I still love it. So, oh, this notebook is like a Cavallini and Co. Notebook. I got it at Barnes and Noble. But yeah, this one's called Bird Watching. And yeah, so this is what the inside looks like. These letter and number stickers are from Easy and Oaks Paper Co. I also have a discount code for their shop, and I will link that as well. I started June 14th, made my key here. I left some things off because I wasn't using the topics anymore, so I just left them blank. Put a new quote here, and yeah, I had a currently inked page to see how this notebook handles fountain pens, and it did okay. Yeah, it did fine, but I don't use fountain pens in here. This is my ARC TBR. I wrote the day that the book came out and the date that I had to have the review posted. I'll write like TBRs in here, chapter trackers, crochet projects. These were trying to see if the Moleskine Daily layout would work for me, so I tested that in here first while I was on a trip. So I tried doing like that daily logging thing for like a week or two in here, and I really liked it, so that's why I ordered the daily Moleskine. And yeah, I love this little notebook. I love having a place to just like scribble notes. I write a lot about my planner thoughts right now. So like I've been writing like how I'm using my current books and how I want to use them in 2025. Notes on video exporting, more 2025 planner thoughts, hobonichi wants and needs, more 2025 thoughts, hobonichi plan / kind of like a wish list, video ideas. I write my video notes in here, like when I'm editing now, instead of doing that in my weeks, I do it in here. This is the agenda for this video to make sure that I got all these points, talked about all these books, and I have. I use it how it works for me, and that's what's important. It doesn't have to be pretty. And then it has like a little pocket in the back. These are my commonplace dots, and I have like some sticky notes and stuff. But yeah, so that's like my current system. I refer to this page a lot. So these are the books I'm currently using and how I use them. And then this is on the right hand side, the books that I want to use next year and how I'm going to use them and how they're different from this year. So like if we start here, my A5 Hone, which is this notebook. Currently, I use the month for the line a day, the week for planning, and the day for journaling. And next year, the only thing that's different is the monthly I'm going to use for content planning instead. So that's why I was like, I'm not going to use this notebook in 2025. I'm going to do my content planning in my Hone A5 instead of doing the line a day in here. And you'll see why as I go through this list. So that's why that's marked with a little asterisk there. So that's that book. And then here next we have my Moleskine daily log. That's all it is it's daily log. And it does not come over to next year. So next year I'm not using a Moleskine daily. I am going to use an A6 Hone So, and a hobonichi original, like, I've got one here like this. Don't mind this. This is like a junk journal. So this is just for fun, but I'm using one of these, but the hardcover version next year for daily logging. So it's the same purpose as the Moleskine, but a new book, a different book. And so with switching to the A6 Hone, I will have more room on the daily pages because it's an A6 size instead of a pocket size. And then on the monthly, since it's an actual usable size, I'll show you in this book. This is like an actual usable size. I'm gonna do my line a day in here instead of like how I'm doing it in my A5 Hone. So I'll have a little bit less room to do the line a day in the A6, but I think it'll be okay. So yeah, that's what I'm doing for my daily log for next year. And then after that is a weeks. So right now I'm currently using the weeks as a reading and media journal. And if it works, I'm going to do the same exact thing next year. So no change going over to next year. And then I have the A5 Day Free, which I told you I'm using for gratitude on the monthly, and then long form journaling in like the notes pages. And next year I'm switching to just an A5 notebook for long form journaling. I don't think I need like the monthly, and I don't need to buy a planner for journaling, like long form journaling. So I'm just gonna get an A5 notebook and continue my long form journaling in that. Pocket notebook and pocket notebook for commonplacing. So that's gonna be the same for next year. I haven't decided if I'm gonna carry this book into 2025 or if I'll stop wherever I'm at the end of the year and start a new notebook. I haven't decided yet. And then the 5-year for memory keeping stays the same. So this like layout really helps me see what I'm currently doing and what I'm switching next year, because I've just marked the changes. So honestly, there's only 3 like real changes. I guess I didn't write this guy on here. I guess there would be an extra line for like this little monthly planner as my content planner, but yeah, I guess that's the only thing that's missing here. But yeah, this like really helps me see that like I'm not changing a lot for next year, and I can quickly see like, okay, I'm switching my monthly to be content planning, I'm switching my daily log to a Hone and kind of moving the line a day here, and then instead of having a day free, I'm just gonna have an A5 notebook for journaling. So I really like this, and I honestly like 6 is still a lot of notebooks. This is, I think, I don't know, I would like to have less, but they each have a purpose that I think is useful to me, and this, how I'm using them now, does not feel overwhelming to me. So I'm just gonna let it keep going how it is, but I'm gonna keep checking back in with myself to make sure that I'm actually using these things and not just buying planners and journals to buy planners and journals. So that's kind of where I'm at, and why I'm waiting to purchase my hobonichis for next year, because I'm still experimenting and I need to see how some of these things work out before I make my decisions for next year. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a lot of books, a lot of planners and journals. Ooh, oh boy. Yeah, lots of things that I'm using right now. I apologize for this being a long video, but hopefully this was interesting for you. I will probably make another one at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, and yeah, give you an update on what I'm planning to do and let you know like how some of these things are working. And maybe since I'm planning to post more often, I could do like a video specifically on one journal. Like I could make an update video on how the reading/media journal is working. So yeah, so that's an option. But also, yeah, thank you so much for watching this. And if you have specific videos you want to see from me, please, please, please drop me a comment, leave, message me on Instagram, whatever, and tell me what videos you want to see from me, because I'm gonna need more ideas if I want to post weekly or every other week for you. So yeah, if there's anything specific you want to see, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna make whatever and hope for the best. If you're still here at the end, thank you for sticking it out. You're awesome. Consider liking and subscribing to see all those new videos I'm gonna be making. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.